The one thing that I focus on when it comes to my spiritual teachings is that we are the creators of our own reality. Essentially, you are the God of your own universe. You see, we all function from a space of our perspective. And everything that we experience, everything that we see, hear, touch, comes from that perspective. And as you go through life, you begin to go into this spiritual understanding of recognizing that everything that you're experiencing is a result of what your consciousness is perceiving. Your consciousness is already the beginning of that quote unquote perspective, because your consciousness is that thing that makes you uniquely you, so to speak. And so the thing about being you is that you're going to see things and experience things from that point of view, from your unique individuality, your unique experience or expression or existence or view of the world. And so the one thing that I want you to understand when it comes to diving deep into your creation of reality by way of your consciousness is understanding that everybody else is also going through that same experience, right? We're all having that same experience where we are the only ones that we can be aware of and that we are living life through, right? Through yourself. You cannot jump inside of another person and live life through them from their perspective and understanding. You can only be in your own experience. You can only be and view things from your own perspective. The art of compassion or empathy is doing your very best to place yourself as much as possible in their situation to gain understanding from their point of view, right? But you really can't do that 100%, right? You really can't gain 100% perspective of other people's points of view. You only can be in your point of view, and you can recognize, okay, if I was in that situation, then maybe, yes, I would feel this and I would feel that, which is similar to what they're experiencing, right? But you're going to have a different experience because you are an entirely different person. But really what I want you to understand is that when it comes to our realities, which I really call our unique, individualized universe that we create from this perspective, from this consciousness, is to recognize that you cannot argue against somebody else's reality. You cannot change their reality. The only reality that you have complete ownership and responsibility over is your own. Now, you can do your best to support people, to encourage people, to give people advice if they choose to seek it from you, but you cannot change how they view things. You cannot change who they are to the core and the many layers of us as individuals. You cannot change that. That's really up to the individual themselves. So I don't want you to go through life as you are taking on this conscious spiritual journey and you are going through the process of remastering manifestation and creating the universe that you ideally desire for yourself, to think that you have to debate with people about their reality and what they feel is true for them, right? Because that may work for them, just like whatever you're doing currently may work for you, and therefore you wouldn't want anybody to debate or argue or change your mind on that. So you have to recognize the reflection, right? You have to recognize how we are different, but we are also the same in that very existence, in that very essence, or that very concept. We're the same in that we are all different, right? We're the same in that we are all creating our own reality. We're the same in that we are all coming from and seeing life from our own unique perspective, right? But we're different in those perspectives, right? In the reality that we're creating. And so you have to understand that this very idea is very powerful for you, because when we are on this conscious journey, or when we're on a journey of creating anything, achieving goals, following our passions, following our curiosities, a lot of times we're in a space where we're not really secure in our journey. And so we subconsciously, unconsciously look to others to gain insight as to if we're doing something right, wrong, and if we're on the right path or not. And oftentimes what we end up experiencing from others is their ideas, right? Their reality, their feelings about things. And then they are now projecting onto you what you should do based on what they would do. And this is where life gets messy, because you are insecure in where you're going and what you're doing, because rightfully so, you may not know what you're doing, right? And so you're looking to others, not realizing the importance of recognizing that we are all living in a different reality. And if we're all living in a different reality, though they may be somebody I respect, somebody I even love, they may not be the person that I should go to for guidance, support, or information or insight. So you have to recognize that if you're going to look for that from somebody, make sure that it is somebody who is on a similar path as you, or have achieved something similar to that which you are looking to achieve. So as you go through your journey, you want to take ownership of your reality and that it is unique to you, and that you shouldn't, one, seek information and insight from people and put so much value on it that it derails you from seeking out your own unique path and walking your path. But you have to acknowledge that, okay, this is coming from a whole entire different perspective. And so you take the things that resonate with you and you keep moving forward. You don't argue with them also, because arguing with them is never going to change their reality and their perspective. The only thing that will truly support others in changing their reality is them looking to you from a very vulnerable, from a very humble space, recognizing that you're on the path to fulfillment, success, and all those things, and then looking at you like, okay, what can I gain from this person? What can they gain from you? What things that they can see that you're doing that resonates with their unique individuality? And when they look to you, then you can then give them insight as to things that they can do, or just basically giving them the information as to what you're doing, what aligns with you, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you. Because even the things that haven't worked for you may in fact work for them, because you are two different people, you see. So it's important to recognize this understanding of creating our own reality. When we are in a space of making change, you're in a very vulnerable space. So be mindful not to include people into that space that aren't coming from compassion, coming from understanding, coming from support when it comes to you being successful. Because if they are unconsciously wanting you to be on the same level with them because they don't want to be alone, then it's going to inadvertently keep you down. It's going to unconsciously weigh you down and impede you from being successful. This is why your circle of friends, your associates, your business partners, even your partners, your life partner is very important, because those communities that you have created and will create essentially will be the very empowering or very disempowering portion of your journey. So recognize the importance of reality, the importance of perspective, because once you understand that your reality is yours exclusively, though we all have our own reality and we may interact and we may influence each other on some basic levels, that we have to be mindful about that influence. And when you are mindful about that influence, then you get to cultivate and curate an environment that will actually feed and support you along the journey of creating that which you want. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and also download this free ebook, The Power Within, when you subscribe. Also, when you subscribe, you'll be invited to my Manifestation Monday morning meetings, which happen at 7 a.m. every Monday, which will help you to, first of all, start your week from a very empowering and supportive mindset. So that way, when you go through the week, you have insight, exercises, and things that you can do to support you along the journey of self-fulfillment, self-realization, and creating the life that you want. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.